Hey guys, it's Frank and Kevin from Cruising with Wheels.
Hey!
And today we're going to bring you another exciting episode of our Q&A.
So before we get into our normal Q&A, we want to welcome all of our new subscribers and say welcome back to all of our
original subscribers, because so many have been with us since the very beginning.
Sorry guys, I had a brain fart.
And you know who you are.
So if you're not a regular subscriber, please consider clicking that subscribe button, and as you watch this Q&A, you will see all of our contact information popping up randomly.
I know.
So
maybe you have a question.
Right, and you can send us an email or get a hold of us through any of those social medias.
Yeah.
So let's get right to the first question. What's the first question?
Well, the first question is a popular question that always comes up, and that is, can anyone tell me how much it is to park at the Miami port terminal? Because I am not going to fly. I am not going to take a train. I'm going to drive my car.
Well, let me start off by saying you're barking up the wrong tree asking us how much it is because we have to fly. But we did a little research. And as of the filming of this video, because Lord love everybody out there in YouTube land, a lot of people watch our videos and they don't realize that that wasn't filmed that day.
I know. People, this was, when it posts, this was filmed way ahead.
So anyways, overnight parking is $22 per day. So that equates to $154 for a 7-day cruise.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think that's too bad for Miami. Because, you know, here in Rochester, when we park at our airport, it costs us about $100 for the week.
Yeah, it's usually 70, so it's about double.
So it's,
right?
I don't know, I just kind of didn't think it was so bad. You know, I thought it was going to be like, you know, mortgage payment, but it's nice to see it's not. But yeah, a lot of people have experience.
I think
parking
New York would be more.
In my down in the city, yeah. There's another.
I'm sure we'll get that question after this.
That one. I know. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there who have commented because they have a lot of experience parking at the Port of Miami. So,
but there are other alternatives to parking at the main cruise port terminal, and you can find out about those by visiting a website that you found, and it's www.safecruiseparking.com. And it's about $48 for a 7-night cruise.
And that is substantially cheaper. So, I
would do that.
Go to the website and find out all the details.
Right. We do want to say
the devil is in the details.
We do want to say that for our wheeled cruisers in particular, to specifically check out what's involved with the other option, because we're not sure if they have wheelchair buses, because this is a shuttle service, so you will not be on site. Our next question comes in, and it's about
It's your favorite.
Where's your baby?
No. We have no babies here, except fur babies, but
it's about. It says, can I bring my baby on a cruise with me?
Right, and you know what? It's funny because this question came up again on Facebook.
And I want to make it a two-part question, if you don't mind.
All right.
I'm going to make it a two-part question, okay? I'm going to say, can I bring my baby on a cruise?
Okay.
And should I bring my baby on a cruise?
I knew you were going to the should I.
So let's give them the corporate response.
Okay.
Right? Give them the corporate response.
Okay. Well, the corporate response is that most cruise lines have a minimum age of 6 months as of the sail date. Consult again the website of your specific cruise line to find out what the actual age requirements are in terms of bringing the little babies on a cruise with you. And then, of course, you also want to check out any amenities that they might have should you decide to bring your baby, because a lot of them will have, like, you can buy diapers on board and, stuff like that that pertain to you and your baby. So
Now,
that's the, can you part. So Kevin will now address the should you part.
Right. So I just have to say that I've never been a parent. Okay. I was an uncle. I am an uncle to many a child.
Gay uncle gunkles.
And I have to say that it is always rather disturbing to me when I see a young couple, right, in the waiting area struggling with the stroller, the formula, the diapers, all the baby crap.
The diaper bags.
Okay.
Their bags. Everything.
My thing is that, in my opinion, and that's why I'm stressing this, it is my opinion, and I believe it's Frank's too, leave your baby at home. Because not only, I mean, people don't consider this, right? But not only are you going to have to cart all that crap with you, but you're going to have to pay full fare for your baby to go on this cruise.
Right.
Or a lot of money.
And I want to add to
and
that.
the baby's not going to know.
Right, I'm going to add to that hindsight is 20/20, and having to look back. Oh God, let's calculate. 35 years ago, I would be able to say now, I would not take any of my kids when they were little on a cruise.
Right.
And a commenter this morning on Facebook said, I want to go on this cruise. My daughter wants to go on the cruise, but she has a little baby, and she thinks that she wants to bring the baby with us. But she thinks that she's going to be on the ship, and in every port, she's going to be scuba diving and zip lining and whale watching.
Well, sure,
and she's got all this stuff. And so the mother's comment was, how the heck does she plan to do this when she's got this little baby to take care of?
I know what she's planning on. She's planning on grandma who's coming along watching the baby.
Right.
But I got to tell you,
it's not a cruise for grandma.
For us, if we were taking the kids and they had children, which they don't, but if they had children, so we were the grandparents, there would be a big discussion.
Oh,
We're
no.
going on this cruise. We are not watching your child
This is a
so that you
vacation.
can have a party,
Yeah,
right?
and so my comment in response to her was, your daughter needs to take a step back and look at her daily life, because her daily life at home is not going to change a daily life on a ship. It's going to be the same. She's going to have to take care of that baby, diaper change, feedings. The baby's going to be upset. Baby's going to be crying. And do you think the neighbors next door in the cabin want to hear a crying baby? I don't think so.
No way.
So the mother, I'm sorry, but you're going to be tied to this little infant just like you are at home, but you're not going to have maybe the big support system of all your relatives at home. You're just going to have grandma. And it didn't sound like grandma wanted to be tied on her cruise vacation to being a grandma babysitter in charge. So
I know I wouldn't like that.
I just want to say to all of you out there, I know there's a lot of separation anxiety with the kids. I know, I remember. But really, you really need to think realistically. You're not taking a trip to the next city or the next neighborhood. You're on the high seas in multiple countries, and you're carrying a little baby that's very demanding.
I say leave the kids home
Yeah.
until they're potty trained and at least can remember the trip. But
Yeah.
that brings us to another question, which would be, do I have to pay full fare for my baby or child? And there really is no simple answer other than to say it's going to depend on the cruise line that you're sailing.
Right.
And there are several kid-friendly
Right.
cruise lines where babies sail free.
Right.
Or are heavily discounted.
Right. Or even if they're not heavily discounted or free, it might be part of a promotion.
Right.
Like third and fourth passenger in your cabin sails for free. So
Right.
there's a lot of stuff out there.
Now, MSC specifically distinguishes itself by always letting kids under 11 sail for free.
See?
But other lines will have occasional promotions, like you were
Right.
saying. And I've heard time and time again when we've been sailing, Frank, and there have been babies on the cruise ship, how upset the parents are that they have to pay the tips.
Yeah, for the baby.
For the baby and the port fees and all that stuff.
You do.
So even if your child sails for free, you're
Right.
still going to be responsible for daily gratuities, port taxes, and port charges and
Right.
fees. And,
Yeah,
it is what it
That
is.
doesn't get wiped away because
Not their fault you had a baby.
it's an infant. Okay, so keep that in mind.
So the next question that came to us was, what is the minimum age for drinking and gambling?
Well, most of the lines, it's what, 21 and over?
Most of the lines, it's 21 or over. And in fact, and this wasn't delineated in your research, but I just thought of it. In fact, most of the cruise lines won't allow you to sail by yourself
Right.
unless you're 21. And in a lot of the cases, I'm 25.
Yeah, I know.
And if you're 24 or under, let's say, and you want to sail
Right. Honeymoon.
for your honeymoon,
Yeah.
you have to prove that you're married.
Right.
You have to be a married couple.
You have to have a
So-
legitimate legal excuse
Right.
to be what they consider a lower underage, to be able to be on the cruise ship. I know. I've always thought that kind of odd.
Now, in Europe, for example, where the drinking age is typically 18, many of the lines will lower their age accordingly. But the other lines won't allow any passengers 18 plus to purchase alcohol without permission of their guardian or parent or whoever that
Right.
person is that are sailing with them. And it doesn't mean that your friend who's 21 or 25 that's sailing in your cabin is your guardian, because
right.
they're not.
And then when the gambling comes in, they're very strict
Yes.
on the gambling in terms of not being in the casino. And we have had so many experiences where we watch where it's not just, we're not talking like, 17 and 18-year-old kids trying to get
talking
in.
little kids.
We're talking like kids that are like 10 and 12 that are sneaking into the casino and hiding, playing the slot machines. It's and a lot of the cases the parents knew about it and were letting them get
were
away with
condoning
it.
it.
And in one case, they actually shut down the whole family.
Yeah, they were sequestered.
Sequestered,
Is that
in,
what it's
yes,
called?
in their cabin.
In
And
their
they took
cabin.
away their sailing sign cards, the whole family, because they kept getting caught, and security and the casino people kept saying, we have told you time and time again, these kids cannot not only be in here, but they can't be playing on machines. And the parents were like, screw you, we can do what we want. And then the what hit the fan, and sailing sign cards were stripped of everybody in the family, and they literally were sequestered in their cabin for the rest of the cruise.
So basically, the minimum age for drinking is 21 plus, and the minimum age for gambling is 18 plus. But we do always preface, you'd want to check with your cruise line. In different areas of the world,
Right.
the laws and rules are different.
That's
so
right.
sometimes they're always bending them
That's
just a
why
little.
there's never a solid, concrete
Answer.
one answer for everything, because
everything.
it just isn't.
Now, our next question came in, and this has been coming up over and over and over again.
I know. What is up with this whole luggage thing?
I don't know, but I'm glad that you put this down as a question, because I really have been wanting to address this.
And the question is, how do I get my luggage on board?
So, the major question that we've been getting is a lot of, I don't know if it's a lot of our viewers in particular, or just new people cruising in general, don't want to hand over their luggage to the porter.
Not a trusting group.
So, normally what you will do, right, is you will pull up to the port, and Frank and I will hand over our luggage to a porter.
Yeah, the porters are there, and they're all lined up with their empty, giant luggage trolleys.
Now, they will have a vest on.
Yes.
And they will have a name
Yes.
tag, and it will say the cruise line usually. These people do not work for the cruise line.
Right.
They work for the pier, the docking
port
area,
terminal.
the port terminal.
Right.
And so they will take your luggage and
Well,
make sure that it's got
right.
the tags on it.
And they will take whatever luggage you give them, because in a lot of cases, people have a personal bag that you're not going to hand over. Now we hand over the big piece.
We hand over as much as possible.
Right.
But we do have a lot of baggage, in more ways than one.
Right.
But we have a lot of baggage because of our filming.
Right.
And,
so let's give an example. So we arrive, and Kevin has his backpack.
So I'll have my backpack.
And he has all the electronics in it. And I have my shoulder tote, and I have personal items and the laptop. And then we have a little 21-inch carry-on, which is change of clothing, pajamas, and all our toiletries. And then we usually have the big piece. It's either the 24-inch or our 26-inch. Now that big piece is what we hand to the porter. And we say, take it away. And why does he have to take at least that one?
He's required to take at least that one because you cannot bring anything, you cannot carry any piece of luggage on board that is larger than the 21-inch carry-on size.
Right. What we used to call in the luggage industry either the 21 or the 22-inch. It's a carry-on size similar to what you would deal with on an airplane.
Right. So it has to go through an X-ray scanning machine.
Right.
Everything that you bring on board will have to go through that. One of the things I want to address is, because people don't want to hand over their luggage because they're trying to sneak on things that they shouldn't have.
Right.
Your stuff that you give to the porter is going to be X-rayed. Your stuff that is going on the ship with you is going to be X-rayed. You're not going to get away with anything.
Right.
So,
and a lot of people's response is, well, I just want to carry all my luggage on because I want to go right to my cabin and I want to unpack all my stuff and get it over with.
And I'm going to knock that right off the list
I knew you would.
Because your cabin is not going to be ready when you board the ship. It is going to take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours before they announce that the cabins are available. It all depends on when you get on the ship, of course.
Now we usually get priority boarding, and so monitoring the cruises we have been on in the last several years, we're usually on board the ship by about 11:30. Usually we're sitting, eating somewhere for lunch. I always look at my watch going, we made good time. But that cabin generally isn't ready till like about 1, 2 o'clock. And in one
sometimes
case,
even later.
It was later than that because they had a small norovirus outbreak and they were doing what they called a deep cleaning, not just a superficial cleaning, but a deep cleaning before they were going to open up the cabins for the passengers. So
now, I want everybody to think about something too. This is a vacation, right? My idea of a vacation, the beginning of a vacation, is not lugging around every piece of everything that I brought with me for 4 hours. Okay? You got to remember, there's going to be thousands of people getting on this ship. Thousands of people are going to have their carry-ons with them. And you're going to be carting it on the elevator, maybe up and down the stairs. It's going to have to sit there while you eat.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Just check it with the porter.
You're going to have to, because just like at the airport, when you go into the terminal and you go to security and they have the whole the conveyor belt, just like at TSA at the airport.
If it don't fit through that, it ain't going in.
I think, if I remember, they actually have a luggage sizer rack, just like at the airport. And it says if it's bigger than this, it can't go through the conveyor belt scanner, and it's going to have to go with the porters.
And then in that instance, because we've seen this happen, you have to get out of line.
Yeah.
You have to go outside. You have to give it to that porter out there anyways. And then you get to start all over again at the back of the line. So if you want to do it, go ahead.
And also, I want to add this little tip. and that is the
Know your numbers.
and that is the tip. Tip the porters.
Yeah, give them a buck.
We
buck a bag.
well,
at least a buck a bag.
I slip them 5. These guys have been working cruise to cruise. They're outside, and depending on the port, they're out there in hot, humid weather.
Well, I agree, and I agree
yes,
with you 100%.
But tipping is up to you.
Right, but that's what I was going to say. Is a lot of people out there would say, "Wow, they chose that job, and that's their job."
But I go, here's, thank you so much, and I give them the old slip of the money. Please get my bag on board the ship.
So the next question is about the room, and what they're asking is, do cruise ship rooms have TVs?
Yeah.
This would be his aspect of the cruise ship, because I don't think there has been a time where I've actually gone in the room and watched TV.
Well, that's just crazy. I need to have my TV. I need to know if there's some kind of zombie apocalypse
It's because
going
he's
on.
working me like a dog. Get out there and film. So
When I need to go back to the cabin and I need to relax and start to think about my nap, and I need to know what's going on, and they may not have all the channels that you're used to. They might not have the
They
news,
usually don't have any
the
channel.
news channels that I'm used to watching at home, but they generally have a couple of news stations. They have a movie station, a sitcom station. They have all sorts of entertainment, but then they have all the ship channels. You know, the bridge, the outside, the ship cams. You can see what's going on, and then they have the playback of all the shows and the game shows and the comedy shows, and that you can watch.
Come to think of it, I've watched some of that.
Yeah, so but you know what? The TVs, yes, but don't expect them.
You're not going to have Dish Network. You're not going to have DirecTV. You're not going to have your Spectrum cable.
Right.
Whatever you're used to, you're not getting.
Right.
You're probably going to have 4 to 5 channels, and that's it.
Right, and you know what? It's not a.
You don't need it.
It's not a hotel room. They're not going to have the electric alarm clocks. Most of the time, you're going to bring your own, and depending on the category that you've booked, you might or might not even get the small little coffee maker.
Right.
It
Well,
depends.
also, a lot of times when we get questions about the TVs, it's in reference to, does it have ports on the back? Can I bring a Blu-ray player?
Right.
Can I bring my PlayStation for my kids?
Good God.
And the answer is going to be, it's going to depend on the ship to ship, and it's going to depend on whether your ship has the newer TVs or the older TVs. And in some cases, even if it's a newer TV, you can't access the ports, and it's going to depend on that specific cabin, because we've been in cabins on ships. The NCL Gem was a multiple time sailing, and the first time we sailed on her, you couldn't access the back of the TV. It was mounted.
Right.
So
and now everything is being mostly converted slowly but surely into the swivel arms, where you can pull the TV out and angle it depending on where it is on the wall or in a hutch, so you can view it from your bed, which I like. Thank you.
Their next question comes about money.
Of course, it's always about money.
The question is, what is the shipboard check cashing policy? Do people still write checks?
I know, paper checks. I guess they do. I'd never heard of such a thing.
That's a little. I mean, we write checks. I write checks still, but I write them for 2 things. I write them to our dentist.
Right. Water bill.
Water bill.
And any copay for a medical testing.
Right, and copay
That's
medical.
it.
And the only reason why I do that is I want a paper trail. I want an actual physical piece of paper, instead of, if I ever have to fight it, doing
Other than
a
that,
bill.
everything we do is online, but most of the cruise lines will cash.
Some lady the other day was writing a check in line.
People were like, what is she doing?
Yeah, and I remember the little boy in line behind me goes, "Mommy, what's that lady doing?" He didn't even know what a check was.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
But, so anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, most of the cruise lines will cash traveler's checks.
But personal checks, no.
Yeah,
Usually, I don't know anybody around that takes personal checks anymore.
I mean, God, even in my stores, it's like, oh, this check, out-of-state check? I don't think so. I mean, so can you imagine a check from a bank in Europe when you're sailing in the Caribbean. No, they're not going to take it.
They're not going to take it. So the next question comes about medical care, and they're asking, are there medical services on board?
Yes.
We've actually visited them.
Yes.
On most of the ships, I try to visit it
Yeah.
and get a feel for what it's like. I have a severe allergy that I carry an EpiPen for, and so I want to know where it is.
Right.
I want to know what the hours are and stuff
Right.
like that, and I want to know if they're prepared.
Right.
And every case of every ship that we've been on, they have had a full facility. In most cases, they have X-ray machines.
Oh yeah, it really is like a kind of like reception and then like a full like doctor's office operating
Yeah.
room kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
most of the
pretty
ships
amazing.
have full-time doctors on board.
And they will have a pharmacy
Yeah.
for prescription medications. But we want to advise anybody that's traveling on a cruise ship that any medical services go on your shipboard account. They do not take insurance. They do not take Medicare. They do not take your traveler's insurance. You're going to have to pay out of pocket and then get reimbursed
Right.
from your travel insurance, because that's why we always say travel insurance,
Right.
travel insurance, travel
But,
insurance, because your regular insurance, like we have Blue Cross Blue Shield, they won't cover us on a cruise ship. It's not coverable. So, of course, you want to check with your medical
Right.
provider, which they will tell you they don't cover it, and make sure you look into travel insurance.
When you're complaining about the cost of a Band-Aid from maybe the medical center's little dispensary machine, think about that airlifting off the ship to the nearest island hospital, how much that's going to cost
Right.
you, because that's going to be a big old bill that you're going to be paying for if you don't have any kind of insurance.
Now, the next question kind of comes into something we did on one of our
Right.
last cruises, and it is, can we celebrate a special day, they put in quotes, special day, while on board? And that could be like a birthday or an anniversary.
Yes.
And what do you say to that?
I say yes. I say yes, and we're going to be doing in an upcoming episode all about special occasions.
We are?
And services and stuff.
Yeah.
So watch for that coming up, okay? But we're going to answer this little question is yes, because I went on a birthday cruise back in 2017.
And I went on a birthday cruise in 2018,
Yes.
right?
And
Was that for my
yes,
birthday?
it was yours, 44th, and I went on 2017 for my
Well,
60th.
and we kind of were celebrating Dave and Darlene's anniversary.
It was,
too.
yeah, but they didn't get their room decorated. I did. And so, yeah, they have a birthday package where they decorate your room with balloons and signs and happy birthday, and a cake is involved and all that kind of stuff. And they can do the same thing for an anniversary or just a congratulations.
A happy honeymoon.
Whatever. So there's a variety.
have different packages.
Yeah, a variety of packages, and you're going to find all about that when that video comes out. So, want to thank you for joining us in this latest episode of our Q&A.
I want to remind everybody that Frank has a new venture called Cruise Chat. It's a Facebook group where all cruisers are welcome. And you know what? If you've never cruised before and are just interested in cruising,
You wanna
and you
get
want
your-
to ask some questions
Yeah,
and check it out,
Get your toe in the water, so to speak.
check it out.
Yeah, go to Facebook Cruise Chat. Click to ask to join. We'll get you in the group, and you can start picking everybody's brain.
But until next time, we want everybody to always
Travel safe.
and cruise often.